Picture a discovery so small it could fit in the palm of your hand, yet powerful enough to rewrite the entire story of humanity. A single tooth, a shard of bone, a sliver of ancient DNA can topple centuries of certainty, forcing us to confront a past far stranger than we ever believed. For generations, we thought we understood our origins, a straight path from primitive ancestors to modern brilliance. But discoveries whisper otherwise. They tell us our story is tangled, chaotic, unfinished. And the real question is this: what secret still buried in the earth is waiting to be uncovered next? The human story is not a straight path carved cleanly through history, but a vast and tangled labyrinth, a living manuscript where entire chapters have been torn out, burned or buried deep in the soil, waiting for the right moment to resurface. For much of modern thought, we imagined our origins as a ladder, climbing step by step from primitive apes to enlightened humans, each rung a simple progression, each ancestor a predictable link in a chain. Yet the discoveries of the last few decades have shattered that comforting illusion, revealing a truth that is infinitely more chaotic and infinitely more captivating. A truth where humanity is not one line but many, not one species but a chorus of voices, some whispering faintly through DNA, others silenced entirely, except for the rare chance of survival in the fossil record. The Denisovans remind us of this hidden chorus more powerfully than almost any other find. For thousands of years, their existence was erased so completely that they lived in no legends, no tools that we could confidently identify, no memory passed down in story or song. They were shadows gone before we even knew their name. And yet in 2008, deep inside a Siberian cave called Denisova, a small piece of finger bone was uncovered. To hold it in your hand would be to mistake it for nothing, a scrap, fragile and unremarkable. Not a treasure, but a fragment. Yet within that fragment slept a revelation that would change everything. Its DNA did not belong to Homo sapiens. It was not Neanderthal either. It was something else, something unknown. A ghost lineage, a lost species of humanity that had walked the same earth, breathed the same air and vanished without a trace, except for this tiny whisper left in bone. They were named Denisovans after the cave that concealed them, and suddenly we realized we had not been alone in our story. Even more astonishing was the discovery that Denisovans had not completely disappeared. Their blood still flows in the veins of modern people across Asia and Oceania. Their genetic legacy shapes the lungs of Tibetan populations, allowing them to thrive in the thin, unforgiving air of high altitudes. It influences the immune systems of millions alive today, strengthening their defenses against ancient diseases. The Denisovans live on not as relics of stone or bone, but as companions in our blood, hidden within us like ghosts walking beside us in silence. This single discovery rewrote the human story in ways no one could have predicted, and it is far from unique. The more we dig, the more we uncover evidence that humanity was never a single species but a network. A web of cousins and companions who lived, fought, interbred and disappeared, leaving fragments of themselves behind. Neanderthals, once thought brutish and doomed, now stand revealed as intelligent beings who crafted tools, buried their dead painted caves with red ochre, and even interbred with us, their DNA alive in billions of people today. Denisovans revealed through a single bone remind us that there may be countless others we have not yet named. Lineages whose bones lie undiscovered in caves, sealed for tens of thousands of years, or buried under deserts where shifting sands hide their traces. Even more haunting are the whispers within our genomes, tiny pieces of DNA that do not match Neanderthal, or Denisovan or modern human, fragments that suggest yet another unknown species once mingled with our ancestors. What if one day, from the thawing permafrost or from the depths of a collapsed cave, we find their bones? What if we uncover a hybrid child, the bridge between species, a face that blurs the boundaries of what it means to be human? The thought is unsettling, even frightening, but it is also electrifying because it means our story is not finished. It is still unfolding, and each new discovery reshapes the very definition of who we are. The melting permafrost already hints at such possibilities. It has revealed mammoths with flesh still intact, wolves frozen as if in sleep, even seeds that after tens of thousands of years have awakened to grow once again. If plants can wake from such an ancient sleep, why not the lost chapters of humanity, preserved in frozen bodies or intact DNA? Perhaps beneath the Arctic ice lies a face we have never seen, an ancestor who vanished before history began, whose genes may still whisper through time. Yet even without such dramatic finds, the greatest revelation may be that we ourselves are walking archives, living mosaics of forgotten struggles. For genes are not just blueprints for eyes or bones. They are the scars of history, memories written into our very cells. When a plague swept through ancient villages, those who survived carried mutations that now shape the way our immune systems respond. When famine tightened its grip across continents, bodies adapted, leaving traces that still influence how our metabolisms process food today. The anxieties, strengths, and weaknesses we carry are not random quirks, but the echoes of endless survival, the inheritance of ancestors who endured in worlds far harsher than ours. Every breath you take carries strategies written by lives you will never know, battles you never fought, but victories that ensured your existence. You are not simply you. You are the sum of thousands of unnamed ancestors, each leaving behind fragments of themselves in your blood, your bones, your mind. And so the next discovery will not just be another fossil in a museum case or another genome added to scientific archives. It will be a key, unlocking a new understanding of why we are the way we are, why our minds reach for meaning, why we fear, why we endure, why we are capable of kindness and cruelty, of creativity and destruction. The soil beneath us still holds answers, and every fragment unearthed brings us closer to the realization that the human story is not finished. Not even close. It is still being written, line by line, in the silence of caves, in the ice of the tundra, in the DNA quietly humming inside every cell of your body. If segment 1 revealed that our origins are tangled with forgotten cousins and ghost lineages, then segment 2 carries us deeper into the unsettling truth that discoveries about ourselves are not limited to who walked beside us, but also to what lives within us. For the greatest revelations of the past decade have come not from fossils alone, but from the invisible code that weaves through every cell of our bodies, the double helix of DNA that records not only ancestry, but also survival, trauma, and transformation across tens of thousands of years. When scientists first learned to extract ancient DNA, it was like unlocking a time capsule buried inside our own blood. And suddenly the past was no longer silent bones or stone tools, but living information, pulsing with stories we never imagined. By sequencing the genomes of Neanderthals and Denisovans, we learned that they are not extinct in the absolute sense. They live within us, shaping the way our immune systems defend against pathogens, influencing our circadian rhythms, even affecting the way our skin responds to sunlight. What we call modern humans are not pure descendants of a single line, but hybrids, blends of many lineages, stitched together by interbreeding that blurred the boundaries between them and us. This is not the tidy progression once drawn in schoolbooks, but a messy, beautiful, chaotic web of connections, and every strand of that web carries echoes that still shape us today. As researchers map these echoes more deeply, they discover that genes, once inherited for survival, can become burdens in new environments. Mutations that helped ancestors resist starvation may now predispose us to diabetes or obesity, while immune adaptations against ancient plagues may underlie modern autoimmune disorders. This realization changes how we view not just history but health, showing that our struggles with disease, mental illness, or even metabolism are not personal flaws, but ancient compromises written into our biology. And here is where the story takes an even stranger turn. Because if DNA encodes the history of our bodies, then new research suggests it may also record the history of our minds, carrying faint traces of memory across generations. Studies in epigenetics reveal that the traumas endured by parents, famine, war stress, can leave chemical marks on their genes, marks that influence how their children and grandchildren respond to the world. Survivors of the Holocaust, for example, passed down biological imprints of trauma, altering stress responses in their descendants. Children born after famines often carry metabolic changes shaped by hunger their parents endured. This is not myth but measurable science, suggesting that our bodies carry echoes of pain and resilience across time, like ripples spreading from one life into another. If trauma can echo through DNA, then so too can resilience and perhaps even creativity, shaping not only who we are, but who we might become. In this light, every discovery about ancient genomes takes on a deeper meaning. We are not simply looking backward to catalogue the past, We are glimpsing the blueprint of our present selves and the possibilities of our future. And yet the Earth still holds countless secrets that remain invisible until we learn how to unlock them. In caves across the world, DNA has been extracted not just from bones, but from the very dirt itself, soil that carries microscopic fragments of skin cells, hair, and blood left behind by ancient inhabitants. From the dust of Denisova cave, scientists have reconstructed entire histories of presence and absence, revealing that Neanderthals, Denisovans, and modern humans all occupied the same shelter at different times, sometimes overlapping, sometimes separated by centuries. The ground we walk on is no longer silent. It is a library, storing genetic traces that can outlast bones and tools. What then might the next layer of soil reveal? Perhaps it will uncover species we have never named, or show that our ancestors roamed further than we ever dreamed. Perhaps it will rewrite migration maps, shifting timelines of when and where humans first appeared, or reveal unsuspected meetings between lineages. Already evidence suggests that humans reached the Americas far earlier than once believed, that Australia was inhabited in deep antiquity, that our ancestors crossed landscapes we thought impassable. Every discovery unsettles old certainties and raises new questions. And in this constant upheaval lies a profound truth. We do not know ourselves as well as we think. The next bone fragment, the next genome, the next trace in the soil could reveal that entire species once flourished and disappeared, species whose genes may still live within us, shaping our abilities and vulnerabilities. The possibility that more ghost lineages lie hidden within our blood is both thrilling and humbling, for it suggests that we are not the pinnacle of a ladder, but one strand in a vast web, a web that stretches not just backward in time, but outward in every direction. And if that is true, then the question becomes not only what we will find next, but how these discoveries will transform our understanding of identity. For when we learn that our ancestors were not one people but many, that we are mosaics of lineages, hybrids carrying ancient scars and strengths, then the very idea of separation collapses. There was no pure human, no single origin, no solitary march to modernity. There was only survival through blending, connection, and exchange. This knowledge reframes how we view ourselves today, reminding us that difference is not division, but the very engine of survival, that our strength lies in mingling, in adaptation, in resilience passed down from countless forgotten faces. And so as we look forward, we must accept that the next great discovery will not only add another name to the list of human cousins, but may force us to rethink what it means to be human at all, showing us that our identity is not fixed but fluid, not simple but vast, not singular but collective, stitched together across time from fragments of those who came before. The deeper we dig, the clearer it becomes. Our story is not finished, not even close. It is a living mystery, and the earth beneath us still holds the keys to who we truly are. If the first revelations shook us with the truth that we are not alone in our ancestry, and the second revealed that our very cells hum with echoes of forgotten struggles, then the final truth waiting in the shadows may be even more extraordinary. For the next great discovery will not only uncover where we came from, but also hint at where we are going, forcing us to confront the possibility that we are standing on the edge of becoming something new. The same science that resurrects voices from bone and soil now allows us to peer forward, manipulating the code that once seemed untouchable, and in this lies both wonder and danger. When researchers sequence ancient DNA, they do more than reconstruct the past. They illuminate paths that evolution once explored and abandoned, traits that once served survival but faded as environments changed. Already, scientists are considering what it would mean to awaken these traits, to understand not only what made Neanderthals resilient, but how those traits might be woven into our future. The very thought feels like stepping into forbidden territory, yet it is no longer science fiction. In laboratories today, fragments of extinct genomes are pieced together, and while no one has resurrected a lost human species, the possibility is no longer inconceivable. What if the next discovery does more than rewrite history? What if it provides the blueprint for what we might become, guiding us in adapting to the challenges of climate, disease, or even life beyond Earth? The ground beneath us may still conceal answers to how ancient humans thrived in extremes, from the frozen mammoth steppes to the high mountain passes of Tibet. And unlocking those answers may shape our own survival as the world shifts beneath our feet. Yet as we dig deeper, we must also face the haunting reminder that discovery is never neutral. Each revelation forces us to confront uncomfortable questions. If our identity is a tapestry of mingled bloodlines, what does it mean to cling to ideas of purity or separation? If our genes carry the scars of trauma, what responsibilities do we hold to heal the echoes we pass forward? If our future may be shaped by resurrecting ancient strengths, how do we ensure that wisdom guides us more than ambition? These are not questions of science alone, but of humanity itself, and they rise like shadows behind every fossil, every shard of DNA, every whisper coaxed from the soil. The truth is even stranger when we consider how fragile our place is in this saga. For 99% of all species that ever lived are gone, their bones scattered, their names unspoken, their stories erased. Why should we be any different? Perhaps the next discovery will remind us that survival is not guaranteed, that our dominance is only a brief moment in the great sweep of time, and that the earth may carry within it the evidence of civilizations or lineages who once thought themselves permanent, only to vanish. And yet, rather than despair, there is awe in this realization, for it means that every step we take, every discovery we make, is part of a miracle of continuity stretching across eons. To hold a bone in your hand that has slept for 40,000 years is to feel time collapse, to know that you are not a solitary creature adrift in the present, but a thread in a vast and unfinished tapestry. Each fossil is not a relic of death, but a messenger of life, whispering that we are part of something larger, something that began long before us and will continue long after. So when we ask what secrets the next discovery will reveal, we are not just asking about bones or genes. We are asking about ourselves, about our fragility, our resilience, our capacity to change. We are asking whether we can learn from the hidden chapters of our past to shape a future worthy of those who endured so much to bring us here. And the earth will answer, not in words but in fragments, in whispers, in secrets buried deep until the right moment arrives. Somewhere in a cave untouched, in ice unbroken, in soil undisturbed, the next revelation already waits. It may show us a face we never knew existed, a cousin species that once shared the earth. It may reveal how our ancestors weathered cataclysms that we too may face. Or it may unveil something so unexpected that it changes not only how we see our past, but how we understand the very idea of being human. And when that moment comes, it will remind us once again that the story is far from over, that humanity is not a finished tale, but an unfolding mystery, a journey written in bone, in blood, and in silence. This is why we search, why we dig, why we peer into the smallest fragments, because every discovery carries the power to transform not only knowledge, but identity, not only history, but destiny. And as long as secrets remain hidden in the earth, our story will never be complete. So let us step forward with curiosity and reverence, ready for the moment when the next revelation rises into the light, reshaping everything we thought we knew. Because the truth is clear, the next discovery will not just be about them, it will be about us. And if you want to follow that unfolding story, to journey deeper into the mysteries still buried beneath our feet, then stay with us, share this path, and let curiosity guide you. For the greatest secrets of humanity are still waiting, and together we will uncover them.